Live from satellites in outer space, blasting out to all over the place. This is the one and only Hitline USA. Hi, I'm Brenda Ross in Hollywood.
And I'm Adam Currie in New York. Every Sunday night, the Hitline is on thanks to Pepsi and your local Pepsi bottlers coast to coast. Tonight, joining us live from our Hitline studios in London, It's a real pleasure to welcome Tom Bailey and Alannah Currie, better known as the Thompson twins. How you guys doing this morning?
We're doing fine. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Because it is just about breakfast time there, correct?
Oh no, it's at 4 o'clock in the morning where everybody should either be partying or in their beds. Neither. We're sitting here with you.
Better you than us.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years since we heard from the Thompson twins, but they're back on the scene with a brand new album called Big Trash, written and produced by Tom and Alannah. What's the title Big Trash mean?
On satellite. She doesn't know. I haven't really thought about it. It was just a great word, a really good title. Oh no, actually there's a lot of like plastic iconography that we were into, and I don't know, just sort of grand rip-offs in a way.
Wait, plastic pornography?
And it just looked and it just looked really great on when you wrote it in cake icing, Big Trash. It was a really nice word, so we put it on the album, called the album that.
Way to go, Adam.
And it's so fine to pronounce. Well, the first single is out in America, and we're loving it. Pick up your phone and punch up the toll-free Hitline at 1-800-53-PEPSI if you want to talk with the Thompson twins. And while you're doing just that, check this out. Sugar Daddy from the Thompson twins is on Hitline USA.
Fresh new music on the Hitline from our guests tonight, the Thompson twins. That's called Sugar Daddy off their brand new album, Big Trash. Tom and Alannah are joining us tonight live via satellite from London. And as always, 1-800-53-PEPSI is your toll-free direct connection to the stars.
We're going to get to the calls in just a bit. Alannah, I know you guys have changed record companies and managers over the past couple of years, and also now totally write and produce your records. For a couple of years, you kind of stepped back and looked around. How would you describe this period?
I think it was just us getting ourselves back together again. I think we sort of OD'd on the music business a lot. We just, for 6 years, we just constantly made records, rehearsed, toured, made more records, rehearsed, toured, and in the end we just didn't really have anything to write about, so it was just really getting ourselves together. Also, we had a baby. Well, I had the baby. And,
Congratulations.
We had it together, which was great, and we just sort of sniffed around supermarkets and things like that and got ideas for new songs.
What's the baby's name, boy, girl?
There's a boy. He's 18 months old. He's called Jackson.
Hi, Jackson, if you're listening.
He's asleep right now.
He's up, right?
Oh, okay. Well, the new album is called Big Trash on Warner Brothers Records, and everyone who gets on the Hitline tonight and talks with the Thompson twins will grab their very own CD copy. Now, first up is Shira in New York City, listening to number 1 Z100. Go ahead, Shira.
Hi, how are you?
Really good. How are you?
Oh, good. I remember, you guys are great. I remember when you first came out, and I was in junior high school, and there was a gentleman in your band, and I'd like to know what happened to him.
Joe?
Joe Leeway.
Yeah. He left about 3 years ago, just before we all stopped doing it, and it was at the point when he left that we all sort of really stopped doing things. So we did another album, but without much heart in it. And Joe's now living in LA, and he's got he had a part in that movie Slaves to New York, and he's just been writing songs. We're still really good friends with him, but it just came to a point where we really didn't all want to work together anymore, which happens. You know, we've been doing this for 10 years now. You know, you said you were just out of high school or something. I think, where are you now? In pensioners, an old age pensioners home.
He also didn't want to be involved with the baby project, I'm sure.
I think he's got a baby project of his own.
Stifle Adam.
Well, we want to thank Shira. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, we speak to Joe quite regularly by phone and see him every time we're in LA, and I must say he's looking great. He's in great shape and having a great time too, so good for Joe.
Thanks, Shira, for the call. We have Craig right now calling in from Marysville, California, listening to us tonight on K100. You're on with the Thompson twins, Craig.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
I was wondering, I heard you say earlier that you have a boy. I was wondering if you were married.
If we're married? No, we're not married. I wanted to be somebody's mother, but not anybody's wife.
I heard that. I can definitely relate.
The Thompson twins are immoral.
Let's take another call. Mike's in Topeka, Kansas, listening to us tonight on 97 FM. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh.
Hello.
I bet you get asked this all the time, but how did you guys come up with the name Thompson Twins?
Well, yes, we do get asked this all the time. But the name came originally, and I'll be brief, because it's rather complicated. It came originally from a Belgian strip cartoon book called Hergé's Adventures of Tintin, and they're just two characters in the cartoon. They're detectives.
They're the two with the James Bond hats, right?
Yeah, with the bowler hats, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And moustaches, but I don't know quite why we thought that was appropriate, but we did.
Well, thanks very much for calling in, Mike, and we're going to get a Thompson Twins classic out of 1984 on. Plus, we'll take more calls right after this. Blasting out live via satellite, this is the one and only Hitline USA. I'm Adam Currie in New York.
And I'm Brenda Ross in Hollywood. Tonight, joining us from our London Hitline studios, we're talking with the Thompson Twins. 1-800-53-PEPSI is your toll-free direct connection. Just imagine it all. From the privacy of your own home, you could be talking with Tom and Alannah in London tonight. Think about it.
That's right. That's right, Brenda. You even pay for the call, I hear.
Absolutely.
Later on, we'll hear from the Bee Gees in our Hit Blast of the Week, and coming up, we'll get a little medicine music from the Twins on. Next up on the line is Brian, who's dialed us up from Miami, Florida, where he's listening tonight to number one Y100, and you're on live with the Thompson Twins, Brian.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering, is there anything that you guys haven't already accomplished that you'd like to in the future? In other words, what's your major goal?
Oh.
Musically speaking, I don't think we have major goals, but music itself and the writing of songs and things is a fascinating, sort of ongoing process. We don't get bored with it. That's a sort of amazing thing to me. We wake up every morning and still feel like making music. I don't know why. But I don't. There's no target.
We'd really like to. We sort of don't. I don't think we really see our lives on such a broad scale. We just sort of amble along. But we'd really like to get into writing and producing for other people, and we've just started doing that. We worked with Deborah Harry. Recently on a couple of tracks for her new album, and we worked a little bit with Jerry Harrison for his new album from Talking Heads, and we'd quite like to work with other people, sort of getting things together, spend more time in studios and get more experimental.
Sounds good to me. Thanks for the call, Brian. Next in line is Don, listening to 96 STO in Evansville, Indiana. You're on the Hitline.
Hello. I was wondering, I saw you guys play on Live Aid. How was that?
How was Live Aid? Gee, the mists of time. It was pretty good, actually. It was an exciting day, and we all enjoyed it. We didn't get to play long enough, but that was cool.
All right, that settles that. Thanks for the call, Don. We'll get back to the lines in a moment, but right now, crank this one up. Here's Dr. Doctor, the Thompson Twins on Hitline USA. From the Thompson Twins into the Gap album, that's Dr. Doctor on Hitline USA. And if you want to talk with the Twins, just dial us up at 1-800-53-PEPSI. Coming up, more calls plus back-to-back hits.
Hello, tomorrow, your children are here.
You're tuned to Hitline USA, the original direct connection to the stars. I'm Brenda Ross along with Adam Currie. And tonight, joining us live from London and waiting for your call at 1-800-53-PEPSI, we've got the Thompson Twins.
Now, they've got a brand new album out called Big Trash, and the single's called Sugar Daddy, and we're about to roll back-to-back Thompson Twin hits. But first, let's see what's on Melanie's mind. She's calling in from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Hitline is heard on 99.5 WLOL. Go ahead, Melanie.
Hi, Yana. I think you're a really good writer. Do you find it hard to write songs?
Yeah, you go through things where you just have complete blanks and you think you'll never write another song again, and you get completely miserable, and then they just sort of hit you. It's not like writing songs is almost like you don't write them. It's almost like you lock into something. It's quite cosmic. Man.
I tell you, Melanie, not only can Alannah write mean tunes, but she can grow a mean mustache, too.
What?
Yeah, let's explain this one, Brenda.
We're talking about the back of your new album cover.
Oh, right, yeah. I've got a Salvador Dali moustache on. I was claiming that's what happened to you after you had babies. But, no, that was funny. I think doing things like mixing bizarre sort of male and female things together is quite funny. Like, I've also got a cleavage in there. I thought it was just a great thing to have, like, a cleavage and then a very masculine, this ridiculous moustache. And it was quite absurd. I'm really into
Me too.
absurdist things.
I want to
And
follow in your
surrealism.
footsteps.
Great.
Okay, moving right along here. Let's go to Rusty in Bluefield, West Virginia, listening to J104. Go ahead, Rusty.
Hi, I was just wondering, do you all ever go crazy working together and living together?
Good point, Rusty. It's sometimes difficult, but in a way, if you can handle that, if you're the sort of people who handle that, then maybe you get that little bit closer anyway by spending so much time together that you also learn to deal with it more effectively too. Sometimes we do go crazy and have to spend time apart. Otherwise, we just couldn't get on with domestic and professional business. But for most of the time, we seem to survive it.
And in that case, Alannah, do you take Jackson with you?
What, when I run away and leave home?
Yes.
I ran away and I got as far as Elephant and Castle, which is 2 miles down the road the other day. No, I don't take Jackson with me. We had an argument about 2 weeks ago and split the house up and everything like that, and the baby. We decided I should have the baby because he looks most like me than Tom.
He has a mustache.
Yes. and then immediately, we thought that was a really stupid idea. So we do that sort of regularly, twice a week. We leave each other.
It's almost like being married, but we won't touch that one anymore. Thanks for the call, Rusty. We're going to Portland, Maine. We have Jason hanging on, checking us out on the new G98. Jason, you're on with the Thompson twins.
Hi. I was wondering, what is the worst part of being a rock star?
Can you say that again? We didn't catch your question.
Hi. I was wondering, what was the worst part about being a rock star?
The best part or the worst part? I can't hear you.
Worst.
The best part.
The worst. He said the worst. You answer that.
Boy, I love that satellite.
Yeah. Well, we're trying very hard not to be rock stars. I mean, in a way, there's so many other things in our lives that we have to do, right? And it's very easy to start judging yourself entirely by your chart positions and, by the pictures that appear in magazines of you and big on TV and the radio and stuff. I tend to ignore all of that and just let it happen and get on with the other things in life too.
All right.
And Alannah thinks I'm lying, but in fact I'm telling the truth.
Oh, thanks for the call, Jason. Bob's in Chicago listening to B96. Go ahead with your question for the Thompson twins.
Oh, hi. I was wondering, since you went away from the music business for a while before, weren't you worried about staying away from it so long, losing out money?
Or did we miss it and lose money? Staying away from it? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't miss it because we just didn't want to be in it. Sometimes it's not the music business necessarily, but I think anything you get really obsessive about and becomes your life, you get it all out of perspective. So for us, we really had to stop doing it and take a step back and look and see what it was that we liked about what we did and what we didn't like and how we could change it. And we did things like we took off and went to India for a while, which was fantastic, and just roamed about India. And that got the whole world in perspective. And then we went and lived in the remote part of Ireland for a while, which was great. And just sort of made flower gardens and things like that. So, we did... No, we didn't really miss it at all because there's other things going on, And, but now it's sort of fun to be back doing it again, but with a sort of we're not bothered so much whether we have hits in a way. We just want to make music that we like and keep doing that for a while.
You're wrapping up the weekend with the Hitline. I'm Adam Currie from MTV.
And I'm Brenda Ross from Power 106 in Los Angeles. Coming up before the top of the hour, we'll talk with Morris Gibb of the Bee Gees on our Hit Blast hotline.
But right now, we're taking calls at 1-800-53-PEPSI for Tom and Alannah of the Thompson twins. And next up is Mike listening in on OK95 in Tri-Cities, Washington. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi.
Hi.
First I wanted to say that I got a demo copy from a friend of mine of Big Trash, and it's really a great album, and I really think it's going to go far.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And I just wanted to know if you go into clubs and check out the new music scene, and if that influences your music at all.
What we do is if our heads are full of ideas, then we almost avoid going to get more ideas because it just confuses you and makes you wonder if you're being influenced too much by other people's work. But there's always a time when you think, hey, there's a lot happening and it's exciting and you want to go out there and check the sort of marketplace of ideas. Right now, I think there has been an interesting time in clubs in England, but it's only recently emerged again. So not prior to the writing of this album, but just since writing it, we've been out in the clubs a bit more, I think.
All right, thanks for the call, Mike. Next in line is Lisa, listening to Power 106 here in Los Angeles. Go ahead, Lisa.
Hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to know how you got with Greenpeace.
How we got with Greenpeace? Well, really, they just phoned us up and said, come and do it. We've always belonged to, like, Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. And I've been familiar with Greenpeace for many years because I came from New Zealand. And the Rainbow Warrior boats, which are the Greenpeace boats, were often there and often in the news and everything. And so we've just been members of Greenpeace for a long time because we think it's really important that there is an international body that watches who's polluting where, which companies are doing stuff, and that pulls them up. And they're relentless. I mean, they're really good. And so we got quite involved with them because they've done a double album, the Breakthrough album, which was just a compilation of a lot of different bands' hits, I guess. And it was launched in Russia in a way that it's not such a big deal here because it's a compilation of, you've heard most of the stuff before, but in Russia they hadn't heard any of the tracks, so it was great. You know, when we went to Moscow, Doris Day was the main thing on the record shelves there. Wow. So you imagine, like, just this compilation album was great, and people were queuing in the snow, you know, for like ages and ages to get just to buy the record. So that was great. That was a good thing. It sort of spreads the whole word of Greenpeace and stuff.
You know, Alannah, speaking of Russia, Bon Jovi were just over there. How do you feel about them using one of your titles for one of their songs?
Oh, Bon Jovi, is it Lay Your Hair?
Lay Your Hands on Me.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. You know, words aren't exclusive to anybody. And I mean, it's a bit like saying, how do you feel about people sampling your tracks? I mean, good luck to them, really. And I'm sure, I mean, Lay Your Hands on Me is an old biblical thing anyway, so sort of anything's up for grabs. I mean, we steal constantly from anywhere and everywhere, from, you know, magazines, and it's the way you put it together, you know.
Yeah, I can hear it now. Bad Medicine by the Thompson Twins. All right, here it comes. Thompson Twins on Hitline USA with Lay Your Hands on Me.
Off their Here's to Future Days album out of 1985. That's the Thompson Twins and Lay Your Hands on Me. I Can Handle It on Hitline USA. We're coming right back. Every Sunday night, the Hitline is the place to be. Next Sunday, Tears for Fears will be here. And in 2 weeks, Taylor Dayne returns with a brand new album.
And speaking of new, the Thompson Twins are here tonight live via satellite from London, and we've been talking about the new album called Big Trash and the single Sugar Daddy. And you guys have been out of the picture for about 3 years, and in 2 weeks you're coming to New York. Of course, I hope to see both of you at MTV, which of course brings me to the question about the video for Sugar Daddy. What can we expect?
Well, the version you'll be showing on MTV will be a censored version.
Thank you.
Because the full deal didn't quite make it through the editing process. It was pretty risque, I think.
Could you tell us what we're not going to see?
Yeah.
Okay, well, all the things you're not going to see. Well, it was funny. I mean, Sugar Daddy, the song, is about basically trading sex for money. And it's not trying to make a judgment of it, but it seemed really crazy to do a video that wasn't particularly sexual. So we've done one. But it's sort of like, it was great. It was all quite large, like people were quite large and quite fat, and it was all fleshy, and it was like really good, like clammy. Quite nice, you know, really like fleshy sexuality. It was a bit Fellini-esque.
Like you, Adam.
Yes.
Well, then also I had this enormous skirt, which was great. It was like a birthday cake, and I was like this manic wind-up doll on the top. And I had to get stuck up there for half the day. And then we had these men coming out under my skirts. Ooh. It was brilliant.
You know, it sounds like something for...
Well, all that was edited out, so now you just see this sort of dolly thing, which is me.
Sounds like something for Andrew Dice Clay, right? Okay, Alannah, hold that thought. We've got time to get yet another big hit from the Thompson Twins on. I hope y'all remember this. This was #1 back in 1984. Here's Hold Me Now on Hitline USA.
Hitline USA wrapping up our time tonight with our guests, the Thompson twins. That's, of course, the abbreviated version of Hold Me Now. Tom and Alannah, thanks so much for staying up so late London time to join us tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
And from my calculations, it's just about time to feed Jackson, so we'll have to let you go, right?
Feed him, yeah, to get up and give him muesli for breakfast or something, 6 o'clock.
All right, come see us when you get over here to America. And, of course, good luck with the Big Trash album featuring the first single, Sugar Daddy. Thanks a lot, guys.